Welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow. Tonight is going to be one of them special nights. We got somebody on here that not only is a hardworking woman in the industry, she really represents what she's into. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So I shouldn't have to tell everybody when they come in here constantly, you should know. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and join the conversation. With that being said, let's have some fun tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I kept that picture on the screen because that's a face that you need to know. This is a face of somebody who not only is going to change how you look at how entertainment is given, it's going to change the way you look at what entertainment is and how you take control of your brand. Branding is very important. And if you don't have a brand, you don't really know how to represent yourself correctly. You represent your name, you represent your family. Some people even wear titles for their job, and that's a brand. Well, guess what? Today we got somebody who lives their brand. Somebody that's about loving themselves. You'll find out what GLM means and also what she brings to the culture as well. But like I said, I want to hit the algorithm because all these interviews are classic and they're important. So please, if you're watching, hit that like button. Give me a comment. Let me know you're there because you're going to talk to me and you have a chance to talk to our special guest tonight. I'm going to bring it into the studio right now. Please introduce yourself to the people.
This is the one and only T Quest, more than a music artist, the ultimate boss lady. Hi.
It is a pleasure to finally get to put you on Heritage Hip Hop and talk with you because we've been going through hell trying to get this thing done. You know what I'm saying? And my peoples know. They know what's been going on with me personally because I put pictures up. Rest in peace to Miss Gwendolyn Bass. Rest in peace to Tane One. Rest in peace to all the people we lost. GL, Rashad's son. It's been a lot. You know what I'm saying? And things have hit me certain ways. I even buried my father-in-law. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know I don't take long to do things, and I'm really about this thing. But when I told you Heritage Hip Hop was going to elevate and bring quality, there she go right there. Oh, also, that's one of my sisters in the Fleet DJs. Salute to the Fleet DJ family. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like to talk too long and get too long-winded with it. I want the people to know this about yourself. Everybody always says what got you started and what made that thing happen. We'll get that there. We'll get there anyway. My first question to you is, you call yourself the voice. What makes your voice powerful and memorable, not just being something being used?
Well, the reason why I call myself the voice goddess is because one of my professions is being a voiceover actress. You know, so I do DJ drops, producing tags, radio commercials, skits for mixtapes, albums, audiobooks, you name it. I'm here to deliver with my voice. Now, outside of that, I am a motivational speaker, you know, so I speak my mind and I converse with people about different things in life. I help them look at things from a different perspective, you know, so to help people realize life is challenging, life is hard, but if you just change your mindset a little bit, it can actually be easier than you think.
That's loaded, though. That's very loaded because, you know, when we was little boys, we used to love them voices on the mixtapes. Who is that talking like that? You know what I'm saying? And the voice can pull a person's spirit and it could pull their imagination.
Absolutely.
As a motivational speaker, you attack the mind and the spirit at the same time. Which one is harder to penetrate, the mind or the spirit of a person?
Well, it really depends if the person's actually tapped into their spirit.
That's a fact.
You know, so it really, everything depends on the individual. Even when I give advice, I tell people you have to remember we're all individuals. So we're all going to experience different things. We may experience the same thing, but the way we tackle it is always going to be different. So it literally depends on the individual.
But see, in society today, we've gone from being a society to being so individualistic that people have separated themselves from their real self.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sickness that we attribute to technology.
Mm-hmm.
Being that technology has gotten people to separate their morality and their fantasy, we have a disease, a misharmony within the minds and the spirits of the people. What's the most What's the hardest battle you had to help somebody fight when you motivationally put something in them to recognize the things that they're going through?
I think the hardest was conversing with people who are on the verge of suicide. When
Mm,
they're just mad at the world, angry with anyone, don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. I don't want to hear nothing fake and phony. Like they just over it and ready to end it. You know what I mean? And it's in those moments, it's literally life or death. And some
mm,
people I knew, and then sometimes it's perfect strangers. You know what I mean? So, and I tell people, I know everyone wants to be deep and they be sharing things on social media, like, oh, you're so deep. I'm just like, look, don't play with that. Because once you say it, you can't take it back. There is power in your tongue. And these things that you hear growing up, they weren't just saying it for entertainment, like it's real. So I always make sure I choose my words wisely because you just never know how someone's going to be affected. And not just in that moment in life in general. This conversation right now, if I say the wrong thing, it can just alternate everything.
check out the quote.
Oh,
Definitely the voice guy. Shout out to DJ El Nino. But you know what's sound and perfected in what you said? The Bible says that the Most High's voice is like the rain. Because when he says what he says, it goes out and does what it does, and it does not come back. That
absolutely.
the effect is given. And
Mhm,
that's one thing I think in society we take for granted. Because if people of color, our ancestors was told not to speak.
mhm,
And then the ones who spoke were destroyed so that fear made people not speak.
mhm,
But for those who believe in who is God, Christ, Muhammad, whatever, that's
mhm,
the same God that gave us Malcolm, Martin, gave us Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton also gave us Asada Shakur, which means that the voice is the most prolific part of our connectivity to God.
mhm.
What made your voice, in your opinion or your experience, so strong that you got behind your voice and realized that your voice was not only a weapon of mass destruction, it's also a weapon of mass creation as well?
I think it stems from my childhood, and I always grew up always wanting to be a great, phenomenal person. I always wanted people to like me. And, so I was always nice and kind and sweet and respectful. And I genuinely treated people the way I desired to be treated, whether they did it or not, And I always knew that if I can make someone happy, that was going to make me happy. So I always listened and I never judged anyone. Now, some people may say that's probably from my Christian upbringing. I say it's just because the person that I am, and I never judge people. When I speak to people, I always look at things from all different perspectives. Male's perspective, female's perspective, a parent's perspective. Like even in business, I look at it from an artist perspective, a DJ perspective, a promoter's perspective. So it's easier to converse with people. Even in my business, I took the time to learn each part of my business so I understand the people that I'm working with and dealing with, and that's something that people don't do. They just automatically assume something. I'm like, no, let's talk to me. Let me figure out why you're saying this or why you're doing that. So our interaction can be much better. Even when talking to people, if they're already angry, they're already on defense, you have to know how to recognize what they're saying or trying to say, acknowledge it, and then see how you can realistically help.
What part of the business? Because you have a couple brands up under your name. Come on, spread your wings. Tell everybody who you are and why you are that person they need to know.
Okay. Well, yes, I do wear a lot of different hats. First, I am a recording artist. My main genre is hip hop, but sometimes people may try to classify me under like R&B and B and stuff, and I just, do what I do as what I love. as an music artist. Outside of that, you already know I am the voice goddess. I'm a voiceover actress. I am a radio personality. I actually own a few stations as well. I am a journalist for a few award-winning publications. So, I'm sick with the pen too, not just lyrically, but as a journalist as well. And I've also had a media consulting business, a graphic design business with my partner. We do a lot of things just to help people elevate within themselves as a person and elevate as a business, and we do a lot of things for entrepreneurs and artists, when it comes to designs and presentation, as you can tell with all the virtual backgrounds and overlays and EPKs and one sheets and flyers and promotion. Like, this is what we do. I'm just, here to help everyone the best way we can.
I appreciate that and salute to you. Everybody out there that's watching this, I don't see any likes. I see some people watching, but I don't see any likes. Hit that like button because we need to hit that algorithm because this is a dope interview and this is one that you need to know. I want to go back to what you said about your voice though, because everybody has a voice, but people don't recognize the power of their voice. And in the music industry, a lot of people don't use their digital voice as much as they use their physical voice. Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
I'd rather you explain it before I assume.
No doubt. So a digital voice to me is like marketing, promotion, putting your foot in other places where people can see you and know that you exist. A lot of people think, and I believe this myself, I think people use social media and streaming services wrong because a streaming service is for marketing and promotion. It's not for personal residuals. All right. And if you're not using your voice to show people, even though 6,000 per se songs come out per day, they're really not really not gonna know who you are and where you stand. You're gonna get lost in the shuffle. How does you helping them find their digital voice print help them elevate their physical voice to the people's ears that they want to reach?
Well, we live in the world of visual, especially after the pandemic started. We were all home in front of our computers. It's a lot of the corporate people. They're on Zoom and StreamYard. That's how people got more familiarized with these platforms. And when you're up there, it's just like in person. First impressions is everything. How you present yourself, how you're well groomed is everything. Now, in person, that's important. But guess what? On social media, that's important. On things like this, it's very important. So we wanted to help groom them digitally, like you stated. And that's why I tell people, if you want to have the different backgrounds, just to change it up, or overlays, or just know how to properly put your name on a platform like this. A lot of people don't realize, won't you change it to your social media so people can easily find you? If your name is on something, just click rename. It's the littlest things that can have such a major impact, because most of us have our entertainment names. But if your real name is up there, how are they going to find you? So it's just the little tactics that we either converse with them during like consultations and stuff, or we show them what they can do so they can better present themselves when speaking with others.
That is an expression of love. Am I right?
Absolutely. Everything's with love.
Gotta love me some me, right?
Absolutely.
GLM LLC, gotta love me, correct?
Hey, baby.
So if you love it, if not, you say, but let's just play advocate right now, not devil's advocate, because we ain't doing nothing immoral. So let's talk this love thing. I love my voice. I love my product. I love my art. I love my talent.
Yes.
Why, when people love themselves so much, they hide their love, but they proclaim that love to only themselves and maybe the few people that's around their block? Why do you think people are so scared to take that love worldwide?
What love worldwide?
The love of themselves or their talent or their motivation.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that they don't even love themselves. It's true. It's really true. They know who they are, and they say they love you, but a lot of people don't even like themselves. They don't like the person they are today. A lot of them are lost and confused So, and then they're battling different demons, and then they're so stressed out with so many insecurities that it's hard for them to do things because they forgot that charity starts at home. And, self-love, self-care, self-awareness is so important. So it's hard for people to prosper where their foundation, which is themselves, is unstable.
I love your answer.
Oh, thank you.
That was that was very exquisitely given because I believe most people don't love themselves because we were brought up in a lie. Men of color don't like themselves because ever since the day you were born, after the doctor smacked you in your ass, you saw everything that did not look like you prosper and everything that looks like you become irrelevant.
Mm.
And as a woman, and you can tell me if I'm wrong because I'm not a lady, but as a young lady, most young women, I believe, don't love themselves because they're taught what they're not more than who they are.
Mm.
So even when we come to not even the music industry, forget the music industry. Let's just talk life right now.
Mm.
You come to a point where we have, even today, a basketball player, Kyrie Irving, is looking for his right of self, and people are destroying his character behind a definition that does not even make itself relevant to what he's trying to do, which is find his identity. And most young ladies today want to love themselves to the point where they'll do things to themselves that seems acceptable so they would get more attention. What's the most valuable lesson you learned in loving yourself to make you love you? And what is the most valuable lesson you give to somebody to understand that you are to be appreciated and to love yourself as well?
Mhm. Well, when I do things in life and when I have like my dark moments, the person I think about is the person I'm supposed to love first, which is myself. And I think of my future self. And my future is so bright, brighter than my present, And I'm like, whatever I'm going through right now, I have to get over it, figure it out, because my future me deserves more than this. So I always think about that to motivate myself. And then I'm just like, why am I where I'm at today? What is happening? So I always do self checks. Even when talking to different people or clients and stuff, and if they're like frustrating me, I'm just like, everything's a lesson or a blessing. Figure out what you're gonna do. I'm like, you know what? This was a waste of my time. But if I have another client or potential client like this, how can I tackle it so it's not interfering with my peace? So, I'm always doing different evaluations and stuff, trying to understand why people say things or do things. And then I try to figure out how I can make it work for the next person that may come around that's like the same way. And even with myself, I wake up and I'm like, okay, what we doing today? I'm like, you feel sluggish. What that mean? More water? Like, because I got to make sure I'm good because I can't be here for everyone else if I'm letting down my first love, which is me. So I always have to make sure that I'm good to go. And it took me a long time to put myself first, but the moment that I did, my whole entire life changed. And it's not to be conceited or arrogant. It's nothing negative. It's just like, if I have all the time in the world for everybody else, why can I do it for me? If I can give all this advice for everybody else, I need to put myself on my own couch. But some people don't do that. I literally have tactics for people. I'm like, look, if you can schedule a meeting with yourself. Have that hour to yourself. Figure out what you need to be your better you, not even tomorrow, but today. And I tell people the same thing when it comes to them. I'm just like, you don't understand. You were designed and destined for greatness. And in people in our culture, you have to understand where you came from and realize you didn't like it. So you have to stop that generational curse. If you were abused as a child, you don't continue that and abuse your children. You stop it right here and now and be like, in that moment, what would have changed if I was taught like this? And then that's how you teach the next generation. And that's the problem in our community is we'll use it as an excuse instead of breaking the generational curses, because, the premiums, they stripped us of everything, and demasculating the men and all this stuff and just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? But we get that. Now, what are we going to do? Because it's obvious that we are forced to be reckoned with because they keep trying us all the time. Just like the pandemic. We all went through a lot of stuff during it. People are still using it as an excuse why they're not doing anything. It's been a few years now. If you haven't learned anything from the pandemic, you have to learn life is too short. Anything can happen at any given moment. What is your legacy? What are you doing now? People are like, well, I'm still trying to get this pandemic is real. Okay. We all get it. We went through it together. Now what? We got to stop. We got to stop. Life is too short. Do you want to be happy? Because if you do, what are you doing about it? I don't even know if I answered your questions, but everything I said still sounded good.
No, you talked about yourself, and then you talked about what you teach to other people, and that was the key of the question, because I do a lot of teaching on heritage hip hop, and by trade, I'm a preschool teacher. I love kids, and the one thing I teach the children in my classroom, besides social emotional development, because you got to know your sense of self, it's cognitive development, because you're going to see ABCs and numbers all day long, but if you can't get your mind right, how could you think yourself out of a situation or understand the situation? You could speak your worth into it. And those are lessons that I picked up from your YouTube channel. When you've interviewed people, you talk a lot of worth into your guests. You don't ask the questions that people want to like filler questions. You actually talk worth into your guests so the conversations are organic. That's something I really appreciate about your program. I wanted to ask you this. Finding your voice and talking to people means that your spirit is aligned. In my personal studies, I found that in one book of spirituality, our spirits were asked to be brought here. So we are fulfilling a request, and God said, or the Most High says, okay, there you go. Since you've been walking this journey that you've been walking as a voiceover person, stunning voice, as a person who has the right to teach, to talk, to be taught, and to learn. Since you found your purpose, what has been the best reward you've gotten thus far in your journey?
My fiance.
Okay, talk about it. Shout out to the fiance. Salute.
Shout out to DJ El Nino. I'm sorry, I get emotional when I talk about him. Give me a second.
While she's getting together, everybody, make sure you like, subscribe, comment on Heritage Hip Hop. You can join us on heritagehiphop.com. Follow us on all social medias that we're at. Hit that like button because we need to hit this algorithm. I got the voice on here giving her emotions. And she said it better be worth it. I think we making history tonight. Let's go.
In life, you go through so much. And you work so hard. And I've been through a lot of things on this journey behind the scenes. But I never allowed it to break my character. And I always kept a smile on my face, and I've always stayed positive, and I still helped people even when I had nothing, because like I said, I genuinely treat people the way I desire to be treated. And once I finally put myself first and really took the time to build me up, everything just became more clear, and then once I stopped giving everyone everything important to me, people show their true colors, and that's okay. It's okay. It hurt in the moment, but I'm like, it's okay. all you're showing me is that all you did was take advantage of my niceness. And I don't need that in my life. You know what I mean? So once I put me first and started caring about self-love, self-care, this man just came and we connected immediately just from him supporting me. You know, as an artist, we're sensitive about our music, what we do, and we some of us invest a lot of money in what we do. You know, and I put this song out, what up? And I was just introducing to some DJs, and they're like just coming at me like, how come I didn't get it first? And this, that, and the third. I'm like, you guys are ruining my moment. Like, this is my moment. You're ruining it, making it about you. You know, and then I'm just like, I just want to get it right. I want to get a DJ service pack, the things that you asked for. You know, I want to make sure it's together professionally before I present it to you. I'm just letting you guys hear it right now, you know, and technically it is out a streaming platform. So it's out there for purchase and stuff, even on my site. And in a moment of them coming at me and taking away from my happy moment, he actually already had the song because he purchased it. He supported it. Mind you, we've never even had a real conversation yet. You know, this just one DJ, instead of pulling from me like everybody else, he was like, I heard the song, I like this, so I bought it. I'm like, wow. It's just the littlest things that can mean so much. And ever since then, it's just been conversing and connecting and building, and not just as friends or colleagues. Now we have businesses together, and then I'm just like, me pouring so much in everybody else, now it's my time to be happy. And I'm glad that in my moment of me finally being happy for me, I have someone to share it with, because I waited my whole life for this. My whole brand is Gotta Love Me. It's all about love. I talk about love, life, relationships all my life. And now it's my moment. And I'm just happy to finally be here. I was patient. And now my first boyfriend is my fiance, and gonna be is my one and only. And I just happy that he's in my life, because this is something people don't experience. And a lot of people give up because they go through so much in life. But you owe it to your future self to keep pushing, no matter what, you know. And that's why I try my best to pour into people, because some people don't understand their value and their worth. And you never know, it could be a stranger to change your life. That's why I appreciate you taking the time out to watch our show, the Tiqua Show with DJ Nino, and see what I'm doing, what we're doing with our guests. Because some of them are actually broken, you know, and they're just putting on, you know, the representative for the show. But then they're like, you know what? After that, I'm glad that we sat down with you, because I learned this, and the third. I'm like, that's what it's all about. You know, I don't do the generic questions. I'm like, that's, for me, I feel like it's a waste of time. What are we doing? You can't get back time. So we're going to make this hour worth it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. And shout out to all the ones that tune in and support and realize that we're something different. And shout out to my boo.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we go on. To the DJ, may the Most High bless you because you found something special. And to you, Miss Quest, may the Most High continue to pour into you, because the biggest thing I picked up from you is a person could give you a cup and say, is this cup half empty or half full? And you seem like the type of person says, shit, I got a cup. Like, what you mean? Like, it's just whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Check it out. There you go. Didn't see this coming. What up?
Didn't see it coming.
All right. So let's go back into your past a little bit, but I don't want to go to the hurtful stuff. I want to talk about some of your honest beginnings. Tell me about Connecticut. How Connecticut poured into your beginning and helped raise you to the point where you wanted to seek change. Tell me about that.
Okay. Well, of course, you know, I'm born and raised in Connecticut, been there 30 years. And that's where I'm from. You know, I didn't connect to a certain city. You know, people are like, this is my city, this is my hood. That was never me. I think it has something to do with moving around a little bit, because I've been to 11 different schools within 12 years. So there was no one place, You know what I'm saying? And then in high school, when my mother found her dream home, we was finally settled, and I had a little peace in my heart. And I'm like, now that we're settled, I'm gonna take advantage of this. I've been a quiet nerd my whole life. I'm like, it's time for people to really see who I am. So I'm like, when I got to high school, in 10th grade, because ninth grade, it was, that's a long story. But when I got there in 10th grade, it's like, I'm here. What are we about to do? I joined every club, became the president of every club. When it comes to music, I was part of the gospel choir, Ladies of Harmony, the chorus. I started the drill team. I started the hip hop dance team. Like I took advantage of my moments, and I was still quiet most of the time, but in front of a microphone, I was like a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, here I am. And then after school and stuff, of course, I've always been on the honor roll. So people thought I was going to go to different colleges. I can get into any college that I wanted. But after doing some tours and stuff, I'm like, that's not where my heart is. And I don't want to waste scholarships or money on it. So my mom's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm just going to go for it. And just started performing and entertaining and networking and building and performing in so many different cities and different states, and just did what I had to do for the career that I love. And I don't feel Connecticut made me, but I'm never ashamed to say I'm from Connecticut. There's a lot of gifted people there. A lot of people supported what I've done. I've through my own concerts, my own showcase, my own promoter. Like I did what I had to do for my career, and I appreciate the ones that was there when they was there. I appreciate the ones that show the true colors while they was there, and just did what I had to do. But the dark side of it is, like you said earlier, we have to be here for one another. And the one thing I told people, if I had to regret something, it was the regret of not having the proper guidance when I started. I had the drive, the talent, the energy, the money to invest, but I didn't have any proper guidance. I didn't know the business. I just know I love to be an entertainer. And me not knowing that allowed me to go through some traumatic things, different meetings with people, different bad investments, lost thousands of dollars. Like it was so much darkness. But when it came to being on stage, you never saw it. When it came to interacting with fans, you never saw it. But it was just so much. And that's the main reason why I built my companies, is to help people not go through it what I went through. Because as an artist, when you got to do the business side, it takes away from your creativity. And then you're trying to build and you're trying to invest, but you don't know if someone really is have your best interest at heart, or they're going to take advantage of you. If it's going to be a waste of time or waste of money. So that's why we built our business like, look, we are a safe haven. All you have to do is start with a consultation. Just talk to us. What you're doing, where you at. Let us know where you're trying to go, and we tell you how we can realistically help. A lot of my colleagues just pull because they have a few connects or a few accolades. But I'm like, no, what we do here is generally here to help you. And I'm just like, I didn't like what I had to go through on my journey. So if I can help someone not go through it, even just a little bit, then that's what I'm going to do.
Salute to you, because that's a tenement of service. And it written in the books of spirit, those who serve get the biggest rewards in the end. Because when you don't live for yourself and you live through others in your service, when somebody wins, you win too. Mm-hmm. And we get to see the blessings of our hard work turn into fruit for other people so they can build on their own. Mm-hmm. So salute to you. Yet and still though, I'm talking to a celebrity. Like, come on, now, let's get that celebrity. Let's get that celebrity talk. Talk to me before. Wait. Hit that like button, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a classic interview, and y'all doing a disservice to this young lady right now. Hit that like, because we need to get on the algorithm. Everybody need to know this is going on. Now, what made you join the Fleet DJs? How did you go into that?
Well, I'm the type of person, Like I grind, I network. So if I see something and look as an opportunity, I'm jumping on it, And with me being a voice goddess, I was already connected to a lot of DJs, just doing the drops and stuff, radio, and as a music artist. And I noticed this organization that one of my DJs, shout out to DJ Platinum, was a part of, and I'm like, "What's that?" He said something we do with the DJs. I just joined. I'm like, "Okay, cool, cool." Then I saw a flyer that said Fleet Artist. I said, "What is that?" He was like, certain states have certain artists a part of it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Well, if Connecticut ever adds that, you need to come talk to me. He was like, in all honesty, Quest, if we do open it up for artists, you're the only person that's on my radar. I said, great. And the moment they did, we had a conversation, we had an interview, I joined it, and I just went for it day one. Soon as I got in, I'm like, what we doing? What's the program? What's the app? Whatever we got to do. I started talking to people. I found out about a spreadsheet, everyone's information up there. I started to network with them. Certain places I went to, I connected with them, and I came in as an artist, but I ended up being one of their hosts. I joined their publications that was connected to it. I'm like, I did what I had to do, and I just kept elevating and increasing in the organization that I actually ended up being part of top management as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a great experience the last couple of years being a part of it. But what I try to do is never forget about my own brand and my own businesses. Because when you're attached to so many different things, which is not a bad thing, you got to remember to put you first and your business first, and know that a lot of my hard work is from me, not because of the things I'm connected to. So I always bring that back to the brands that I came up with. But yeah, shout out to the Fleet DJs. It's a big conglomerate of hundreds of people, and just doing a thing.
Yeah, that's dope. Shout out to BQ's Fatty's Place checking in right now. That's my partner. He helped me start Heritage Hip Hop. That's my man. Shout out to BQ. Fleet DJs is a huge movement. Yes, it is. I represent New Jersey, as everybody does. If you know or don't know, Jersey is right here. You know what I mean? Shout out to my squad. And you have Connecticut under your belt. But then what happened with a move to Indiana that I've seen in your bio? What's up with Indiana?
Yeah, I did move to Indiana. And then I don't know what happened to Fleet, Connecticut after I left. They all got sad and depressed. But during my journey, when my first step out of Connecticut, I've been to a few states, and Indiana was one of them, and that was more of like a pit stop. And I was there longer than I should have because of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really get to do too much out there because of the pandemic. So I'm saddened that I didn't get the ultimate Midwest experience, because it's so much out there, and I was ready to tap into that market. But it's okay. It's okay because it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's cool. I met some interesting people. I had some interesting experiences. But I'm like, okay, Midwest, this was cute. So now I'm back on the East Coast, and now I'm in Florida. So, about to see what's popping out here. The Sunshine State. So yeah.
I got an artist for you. I think he's dope.
Really?
Man, yes, I do. He is one of the. I think to me, going to Florida, I was in Dade City, Florida. He's one of the best artists I've heard within the last 3 years. And we could talk about him off the record, because if y'all want to be named, come on my show.
Hey.
All right? We ain't name dropping. You know what I'm saying? But no, I really think he's dope. And what's dope about what you said to me is something I had to go through this past year. I do heritage hip hop all through the state. You know what I'm saying? Jersey, New York, I've been to Connecticut. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I apologize I haven't met you. But I met you now, so
So
maybe
it
things
matters.
moves forward, right? It wasn't until I traveled to Florida and really saw that that made me appreciate what I did that much more. Because when you're in your own specific area, people take you for granted. And it's when you leave and people meet you, you really get to see the value that you have and what it is that you do. So for you traveling, no matter what the pandemic did take away from your give to you, I just want to say I salute you because even the word says a person that is well traveled is a beacon of light to their people because they bring knowledge to their people.
Mhm.
I want to salute you for bringing knowledge not only to this show, but to the people you encounter. And may the Most High bless your steps and your genius as it continues to grow. Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I received that.
No doubt. So you ain't off the hook yet because you got to love you some you. All right?
That's
Got to love
fine.
me.
Let's
You know what I
get
mean? So
it.
being a woman in the industry is not easy though
Mm-mm.
because somebody always wants some ass, or
Mm-mm.
someone wants to take your money, or
Mm-mm.
someone wants to set up a backdoor situation where they take all you are and give you nothing but grief.
Yep.
What's one of the strongest battles you've ever come within the game to show people that you're not a player, you're really a coach and you command your spot?
Mm. I like the way that was worded. Okay. I think it'd be in the beginning of my career where, like I said, I didn't know that many people. So in my mind, is if you see me as a professional, you're gonna be a professional. If you do this and that, I'm like, okay, great. And then been bamboozled, and then took all my money. But then I met somebody else, and I was like, um, yeah, this sucks. And then the person found out it was their partner that did what happened. I was like, I don't know. Your partner's with him, and I told him I was trying to do this, that, and third. He was like, well, him and I are no longer doing business together. I can't get all that money you was deal with him, whatever you invested in, but we can start fresh and I can help out as much as I can. And with him just respecting what happened and being open and honest about the situation, we just started working together, and he saw that I was loyal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I told you where I was. Told you how I got played. You stepped in. You here for me. I'm gonna be here for you, cause that's the way you're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I was ride or die the whole entire time through it, our music and business relationship, because that's just how I am. Even when it comes to anybody I work with, I gotta work with somebody who needed some speakers. I'm like, well, we need that for our business, then you can use mine or my headphones or my motif or my MacBook. I've just always been that person because I've always wanted the crew, the clique, the bond, the team. And throughout the years, I still never really had it because I realized I wanted it. I wanted to be a part, but it wasn't for me to be a part. It was for me to be a boss. And then people come into my world, not me into theirs. Because, I never understood. I'm like, I'm at these shows, I'm shutting it down. I'm excited. People give me my props. And then I look around, everyone in their cliques and their crews, like, where my people's at? Where my people's at? But now it's to the point everybody flocks to me. They want to be a part of my team. And then they were just like, yo, you are something else. I'm like, you gotta love me. They was like, we do. Hey.
You see the comments, hey, we out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you this question because I don't want to overgo your music. I don't want to go there yet because I want to focus on you, the artist, near the end, okay?
Okay.
On your show, you got something that's I saw R&B verses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. I have another show on the Heritage Hip Hop Network. For everybody who doesn't know, it's every Sunday from 7 to 9. There's 1 hour on YouTube and 1 hour on Instagram. It's called A&N and R&B. I do the hip hop perspective. They do the R&B perspective. But since I saw the R&B verses, they had a conversation on the last show, episode 3 out right now. And I posed the question to the team: R&B versus
Jeff wanted to say
R&B versus New Edition versus Boys and Men. What's your opinion?
I don't get involved in stuff like that. I'm sorry. Like the whole this like I don't do that stuff. I don't. I don't because I feel like you shouldn't have to pick. You should just enjoy music for what it is. So certain things like that I just don't get involved with. But name the two groups again.
New Edition and Boys to Men.
Well, nope. I can't. I won't.
But that's what music is. That's
No,
what
it's
makes
not
it.
though.
Why not?
It's not. It's just
Why
like
not?
the whole Brandy and Monica, Tupac and Biggie, Jay-Z, and like I don't pick to pick one. I just enjoy what I enjoy when I enjoy it. You see what I'm saying? So
Nah. We ain't letting you get away with that. Nah. Cause at the end of the day, whoever is your favorite, if they are a favorite of yours, is an extension of yourself. That's why you can like more than one thing because a certain song came on your first kiss. A certain song came on where you probably got some ass for the first time. A certain song can mean hey, you've overcome a tragedy.
right.
And that's what these things represent. So no, I'm not asking you to look at it like this person's better than us. I really want you to talk about the feeling that you get from the music, how that is a deciding factor
Okay.
and when you look at it.
Well, when it comes to those two particular groups, I can enjoy the music when I hear it, but I'm not a fan to actually pick one. You see what I'm saying? So that's why those two in particular, I couldn't do it. But if you want me to pick one, I'll pick New Edition.
All right. It's okay. Shout out to my homie, Steve
Let's
LaCassa.
go.
That's my guy right there. We trying to get his show to come back on Heritage Hip Hop Network, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I personally don't like verses, because I think it's poorly done. You know, I understand the pandemic was there and it was a clash of sound. That's the original clash, sound clashes. And then it turned into a concert and it really turned away from the enjoyment of music to who's better instead of appreciating the nostalgia of the music.
That's what I said.
Exactly. Right. And I agree with you. But see, here's the thing though. Hip hop verses are different than R&B verses. Because hip hop is usually centered around beef or problems. R&B verses is usually dictated around talent and skill. As an artist, do you do both or you do more hip hop?
My main genre is hip hop, but all my harmonies when you hear singing is that's me.
So let me ask you a hip hop question that's related to R&B. What makes the best songs, pain or joy, and why?
The writer and the producer. I'm just saying, you can talk about a deep topic, but if that beat ain't on point and the writing ability ain't there, or you know that passion, it wouldn't matter. But if I had to pick, it really depends on the person. But for me, I enjoy the happy songs because I'm tired of people always talking about this darkness. Everybody can't be miserable. Everyone can't be.
Yes, they can.
But here's the thing: the people that are happy, they need their songs too. The ones that's in healthy relationship, they need their songs too. You know, we have to cater to all the ears. So I'm team happy and joy all day.
Nothing wrong with that. Because I'm going to tell you something. I think pain makes the best music because pain is relative. Pain is universal, but happiness is relative. Because people choose to be happy. People don't choose to be in pain. Pain is all around us. You see what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. One of the strongest painful songs I ever heard in my life was Sam Cooke, Change Gonna Come. That's my favorite song of all time. Because if it wasn't for the pain of reality, you wouldn't sing for change. Another song that I love, like this is one of my it's actually going on right now on the Truth Behind Beats challenge. If everybody doesn't know, Heritage Hip Hop does certain contests. Truth behind beats is where you take a beat from an artist and we get producers to remix the beat, cash prize. Truth behind bars, best bars on a beat or about a subject. Same thing. And one of my favorite songs is Marvin Gaye, Sad Tomorrows. And that song is about getting high. And we all know what tragically took Marvin Gaye out of here, which was getting high.
You just want to see your face.
One of my people just came in. Sorry, give me 1 second.
It happens.
Oh, my man is here. Oh, what's going on?
What up, man? We gotta get up.
Yes, we do. We gotta talk. I'm on live with T-Quest right now. You know what I'm saying?
Get your number from Chanel and everybody.
Please, and we. Come on, man.
Love you, man.
Yeah, let's talk, man. Let's talk. I got a visit from my man's right here. That's crazy. Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. That's a lot of the family and friends come around, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get it.
My man's just came to. That was dope. I'm happy. You made me happy. He made me happy. This made up for all the sadness I've been going through. You know
there it is.
But the enjoyment. Let's go to your music now, because one thing that you have to do to make music is enjoy the spirit of the moment. You know what I'm saying? You can't sing if you don't have that thing within you. You can't rhyme if you're not in your zone. When do you know you're in the zone? And when was the first time you found yourself in the zone?
Wow. Well, I've been doing music since I was a child, writing like all the time. Love songs, poems, lyrics. Like that's just always been my thing. I think the real moment was in high school when I told the school we need to do a talent show, and it's crazy because I was the only act to do 2 acts of the same show because I'm lit like that. You heard me now. But one of them I did was a dancing act because, I started as a hip hop dancer too, right? So one of the acts was me being a dancer and people like, oh, like you can dance. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then the other one, it was me and my girls, we was doing a song. And of course, they was like, well, we gonna rap and you gonna sing the hook. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then after a while, I'm just like, I want to spit some bars. Like, I don't want to sing on the hook. What I look like? Shout out to Miss Yeti and Ladies Night. Like, yo, you use me just be singing the hooks. You know what I'm saying? So then I wrote my verse too. And then after they was like, I thought you was gonna. I'm like, well, I felt like I should do a verse too. And they're like, wow, this is how we're doing. Then I thought about it. I'm like, look, you guys are sophomores. I'm a senior. Like, I'm like, no, I'm gonna sing the hook and I'm gonna do a verse. Of course, they didn't like that. It's to the point one of the girls and I literally still have beef to this day on her side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's sickening, right? It's sickening. And with all the female rapping situations going right now, it's all sickening. But when I went on that stage and I did my hook and I did my verse, I was like, this is what it is, because I got a little nervous because I always wanted to be a singer. That was always my dream, to be like a pop star. And my voice just kept acting up. And I'm like, yo, if my voice keep acting up, what's going to happen to my future? So then I turned them harmonies into bars. I'm like, look, I'm destined to be on a stage. I'm destined to be in front of a mic. So we're going to have to figure this out. And that's what I did. And after that, my first hip hop show, I was too young to be there. But they was like, who was T-Quest? They was like, just put her on. I'm like, they're like, all right, you second to last. And then the dude was supposed to go last. He ended up going before me. They're like, you're going to close out the show. We'll see what you got. I was like, okay. And I did it. I rapped. I was singing. I was dancing. Had them chanting. Like, yo, this young chick. And that's when I knew. I was like, I knew it. This is where I was destined to be. Being an entertainer. And I haven't stopped since.
I want to apologize to you early because the female has only been marketable within the past 12 or 13 years, industry standard wise. And going back to you being the voice, I'm always go back to the voice.
I love that.
Being that we going back to the voice of the female has not properly been heard this highly since the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Fannie Lou Hamer, one of my favorite civil rights activists ever. And with the growth of the female in the industry, we now see not only the singer, the dancer, the twerker having something to say. They're making business moves and being respected as an elite, not just a member.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So my question to you is, what voice has the female not been heard saying in music yet that you look forward to that conversation being started when it comes to the music industry and more?
Well, I think it's the lane that I'm going to really push out there, which is happy love. Because some female rappers, they be trying to do love songs and it's cool, but they just don't hit the mark. And sometimes you're more focused on the singer singing the hook versus the rapper and actually rapping on the song. Like, for some reason, a lot of them have not mastered it. So that's what I want to tap into. And I want to represent respectable women. Like, you can be bad, but you don't have to be called a B. You can still be a lady. You know what I'm saying? Not so ratchet, not too crazy. Now, if that's your life, that's cool. But like a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I know, they can't relate to those songs. So I want to make sure that those type of women that don't fight but take flights, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have something that represent them. And like I said, at the end of the day, the narrative of where female hip hop music is right now is saturated. Like, I can't front, like, Lil' Kim was always my favorite hip hop female rapper. You know what I'm saying? And yes, she was raunchy, but she was lyrical. You couldn't take that from her. You know what I mean? And I think it's overdone that we have to have other subjects now. Because my thing is, we're finally getting our moment. What are we doing with the moment? A lot of them just showing us, like, if men could do it, we can do it too. That's great. But we can do other things too. You know what I mean? Instead of just always bashing men, I'm going to write songs praising men. Okay? Lifting up my brothers. You know what I mean? All hail to my kings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we need. Because if we're going to do music that's relatable, why we keep missing certain markets? It's not cool. So instead of being one of those people that's going to talk about it, I'm going to be about it.
So then let me pose this question to you.
Yeah.
Because a woman has always been judged on her breast or her butt.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is more comparable to appreciating a woman, her identity or her confidence?
What you mean?
Well, when we look at women negatively, especially in the industry, is sex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And we judge them on a measure of sex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
When you judge a woman on her godliness, you judge her on her identity or her confidence.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think more clearly defines the woman? Is it the confidence or the identity?
I'm going to say identity. Because even the women out there that sounds like, and I know this is harsh, but just realistic, sounds like prostitutes on a beat. They're very confident in what they're saying. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay. So I would pick identity.
So my final question to the first part of this interview is this: how do you identify yourself, and what makes that identity true, not only for yourself, but for everybody who knows you?
I identify myself just me. You know what I mean? Like, authentically myself. I never tried to emulate nobody else. Of course, throughout the years, they're like, you remind me of this person, you remind me of that one, because they're always trying to connect you to something so somebody can understand you. But I feel like there's only one me. And I know a lot of people say that. but you can literally see it in my actions. People talk about it. I like to be about it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I hear artists on my show, like, I'm really diverse. I got music for everybody. I'm like, I'm sorry, but that song is not for me. You don't have music for everybody. You just want everyone to like your music. There's a difference. You have to understand how to word it properly. But my identity is just loving, professional. I'm a boss, but I'm gonna keep you smiling because I'm just a breath of fresh air. Okay. And that's what the people need. And I hope that I answered your question. But if not, like I said, everything I say still sounds good regardless. And that's where I'm gonna leave that for now.
I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate your take. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast tonight. This is Karev with T Quest, the voice, the pinstress, a person who does not only voiceovers, but does music, helps guide people through their journeys, and whether it's through music, mental stability, or spiritual development. Not only does she do that, but she also is a person who loves, is loving, and gives love back to her community and culture. So I want to thank you for being on Heritage Hip Hop. But like I said, that was the first part of the interview. The second part is the rapid fire questions. Are you ready for the rapid fire questions, sis?
Let's go.
The rapid fire questions are not yes, no questions. These are questions designed to show people that you have quality knowledge about yourself, the genre that you represent, and the culture that you live in. Are you ready?
Let's get it.
First question. What song or album from another artist perfectly defines you?
Ooh. Oh, wow. I like you. You dope for that. I'm going to say it's gonna be cheesy, but it's just how I feel. Beyonce, Grown Woman.
Why?
Because it was a song that I actually walked out to for my 30th birthday too. It's just some of the lyrics, just like I'm grown. I walk with a vengeance. I know that I got it. It's just such a cute, sweet, motivational song. It's not over the top. It's just happy and confidence. And I'm like, that's my joint.
No, I appreciate that. Question number 2. What's more meaningful to life? Health, wealth, happiness, or stability?
um, it's a domino effect, but it all starts with your health. Because if you're not healthy, you won't have the strength to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? If you're not healthy, that means you may be weak, so you don't have stability. So it all stems from what's most important, which is your health.
One of the main things that men are taught that destroys their confidence is that when you're from the inner city, you have to sell drugs, entertain, whether it's music or through sports, to make it. Mm-hmm. What are the things women are taught that are equal to those things that we have to break when it comes to Black culture or our societies as a whole?
Women have to break the fact that even though the man is supposed to be the man of the house, stop trying to take his role. Let him do him and just be supportive to his position. Understand and respect your own position, and don't require old-fashioned rules and values of the man if you can't back it up with the old-fashioned rules and requirement of a woman. I need that man to do this, that, and the third. Okay, and what are you gonna do? I'm just being honest.
Preach.
I'm just being honest. So yeah, that's what it will be for sure.
that just caught me off guard. Thanks. That was dope. Thank you. Okay. Honest. Here's my next question, and I think I'm gonna take it back to music.
Okay.
If you can make your dream track, who would you do a song? Oh, not track. We don't believe in tracks. If you can make your dream song, who would you work with, dead or alive? No restrictions.
Wow. Not to be like always Aggie, but my thing is I never think about features when creating because I always write from my heart, which is my story. So I don't think about features. But my dream collab is I actually want to do a track with my fiance. Kind of like Tiana did with her husband. Like they put that together, even though he's a ball player. You know, he was spitting them bars for his lady, did a song together. So I want to do that because we're like a different dynamic duo. You know, DJ, artist. So while I'm performing, he's spinning. He just come up with the mic. So yeah, that's my dream collab. Was it supposed to be like a celebrity or?
It's whatever you choose. There's no wrong answer. Okay. Let's go back to you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
What's more important to you, to receive your flowers or to be crowned?
Um, to be crowned now
Why?
because I always wanted the flowers because sometimes the flowers help motivate you to push further. But at the same time, the flowers ain't helping me eat. So I don't want to keep hearing that you appreciate me and I'm great and I'm so talented. I want you to pour into me and support what I do so I can continue being great with my gifts. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, now I just want my crown for you to understand like I am she is me, here I am, hear me roar.
Hey, take off. I ain't mad at you. So then the offshoot of that question is this. Flowers, see, flowers for a woman is different than flowers for a man. Because when flowers are given to a woman, it's usually during a time of happiness, rejoicing, or coronation.
Mhm.
But the crown for a woman is her reward because she's done it. So when she gets that crown, there's no one who can knock her off of that pedestal. She earned that. For a man, when a man gets flowers, he's dead. But when a king gets crowned, it means he's taking his seat.
Mm.
That's how the language of love is different for men and women. Women want to be the center of the world. So when you love a woman, you accept her for all she is, you protect her from all that is, and you give her the life that enhances her ability to make you whole.
Mhm.
You give a woman dead meat, she can make you a meal. You give her a house, she'll make you a home. You give her sperm, she'll give you a child, which means she gives life.
Absolutely.
But with a man is different because men don't want that shit. We want loyalty. By giving a good man loyalty, he will give you the world he creates because he found his purpose and you are the thing that makes his purpose better. Which leads me to my next question. What's more meaningful to you in life, to live or to survive?
To live.
Why?
Because life is so beautiful and you only get one and you need to take advantage of it because once it's done. There is no turning back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be working a 9 to 5, work a paycheck to paycheck just to survive. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? So because surviving is not living to me. You're just existing. And I need to live.
Well, I want you to live many more years, many more lifetimes, and many more truths and experiences. This is Forever Heritage Hip Hop. We have two more questions, then we're going to fade to black. My throwaway question is, how did you like being on the Heritage Hip Hop podcast? And would you recommend us to anyone looking to be interviewed or promoted in any type of way?
I would honestly say it was interesting behind the scenes to get here. You know what I mean? Because as you can tell, I'm very serious about what I do and I value my time, right? But I will have to say this has been an absolute pleasure. I enjoy being on that side where you are because I've been on that side for over 10 years as a personality. But I tell people there's nothing like being on the guest seat. But in order to have a full experience sitting in the seat of a guest, you have to have the proper moderator, the proper interviewer. That's not going to ask you basic questions that actually like, I never thought of that. Well, let me think about that. You challenged me and you challenged my intellect. And you made me think of things I've never thought about before. And you actually helped me grow to another level in life because certain things in this conversation that really has my head going. You know what I mean? So this has definitely been worth my time, and it will be an honor to recommend people to come to your platform.
Thank you, because I'm ready to get on your show too. We're gonna have some fun.
I don't know. I'm so busy.
Hey, it's all good, and I appreciate you. So, not to take too long of your night, I want to thank you for giving us your time. It was well worth it. Everything happens in God's time. So we spoke when we were supposed to speak. I thank the Most High for this interview. I thank everybody who's watching, everybody who hit that like and hit that love button. Thank you. Keep doing it. And guess what? When this interview is over, guess it's a digital footprint. You can share it and keep it moving. Shout out to the Fleet DJs. We're going to share this to the Fleet DJs. They're going to have to come up on here. Shout out to the Fleet DJs. You know, that's our family and worldwide. Shout out to Classic CEO, my guy. You know what I'm saying? My final question for this interview is this. T-Quest, in my opinion, is going to be in the Media Hall of Fame one day. Because you're going to be, you already are an excellent journalist, but you're also a beyond excellent executor of reading the needs of a person's spirit. So by doing that, there's going to be a time one day where either we go to the Library of Congress or we're going to go to a Music Hall of Fame, and T-Quest is going to be there. 500 years from now, as you still inspire the world with your journalism and your work, what is the legacy you leave behind that made the world better because you were you and you walked your journey?
I believe my legacy is that throughout all this darkness, someone has to be the light. So why not you? You know, like you said, either living or you surviving. You have to pick. And I choose to live. I was destined to be here. I was destined to touch lives. And I still believe in old fashioned values to treat people the way you want to be treated. Everyone deserves a chance to be happy. Everyone deserves a chance to be loved. But it has to start with yourself. Everyone else is just a bonus. As long as I love me, I will always be enough. As long as I support myself, I'll always be enough. And then always remember that you got to do what you got to do today because the future you is counting on you so they can enjoy their life. You're on mute. Can't hear you.
See? The power of the voice.
And I didn't even use the voice.
Well, Miss Quest, I would like for you to please hold on while I end this show. And I thank you, please, for 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Karev at Heritage Hip Hop. Thank you for watching Heritage Hip Hop Podcast this very evening. Once again, thank you to our guest, T-Quest, and thank you to you for watching. This episode is brought to you by heritagehiphop.com. We are more than music. We introduce you to your future favorite artists today, and today we had another classic. We also want to give a shout out to Tane One and the Artifacts family. Please go support the Artifacts. The new album out right now on streaming networks, yeah, but go buy it and let's just share love to one of our favorite MCs of all time. Not only that, check out Miss T-Quest. You can follow her at TQuestGLM. You can follow her there. Go to her Instagram. She has a website that's excellent. Buy her music. Check out her show. Check out her social media. But make sure you support this young lady because at the end of the day, this was a classic interview and she opened my heart to something that's very significant. If you don't love yourself, how can you honor the God that made you? Because if you can't love and God is love, then where is God within you? When you find your purpose and you find your walk that path genuinely and walk that path righteously and show the world that you matter. With that being said, this is Forever Heritage Hip Hop saying peace. And you know the rest. I'm out.